Well, hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the RoundTable, where I bring you special guests that's going to come and educate you guys on the things that y'all need to know the most, whether you think you need to know it or not. So, this is the second episode of the year, and I'm more than happy to announce that I have got Miss Dee Dee Boutte out of North Carolina, y'all. She's in my home state. And she is certified, qualified, all of that to come talk to us tonight about what our topic is. And we know that the season of taxes is upon us, and some of y'all like it, some of y'all hate it, some of y'all probably just don't know how you feel about it because you don't know about it. So we're gonna
Right.
clear all that up tonight. And Miss Dee Dee, I appreciate you again for dedicating your time tonight to come share with the viewers. So tell the people who you are and what you got going on,
Yes,
love.
yes. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here.
Uh-oh. Oh, hold on, y'all. She coming right back. There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, something.
It's okay.
Sorry about that. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, my name is Dee Dee Boutte. I am a IRS-registered tax professional located here in the wonderful state of North Carolina. I have been completing taxes since literally I was 11 years old. I used to love to go into the post office, grab all the booklets and the forms, and race home so that I could actually do my parents' taxes before the tax guy got there. And then he would take my return and stuff that I did, and he would compare it to what he finished with to see how well I did. And I don't know, I fell in love with filling out forms and little bubbles and looking at papers and being accurate. And that's the nerd in me. So here I am,
Wow.
4 years old, still doing the same thing.
Oh my God. So you've been doing this for how long?
40 plus
40
years,
years.
literally.
Wow. And you don't look older than 40.
Thank you.
That's a blessing. Look, y'all, if y'all watching, comment where you're watching from. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button because every 100 subscribers I give
Yeah.
away more money. So let's get those
Woo!
subscribers up.
That's what
Everybody
I'm
use a little bit of
talking
money
about.
and go toward them tax filing fees.
That's it. That is
Oh,
it. Woo.
so did you are you born and raised here in North Carolina or where you from?
No, I'm actually born and raised in Connecticut, but my mom is actually from about 45 minutes from here. And so ultimately, when she chose to retire, my father thought it would be a great idea that she would be closer to her mom, who was still alive. And that's how we ended up in this great state of North Carolina. They're in Oak City, is where my grandmother still resides. She is 98 years old this year. Yes.
Wow.
And so she's still here, making collard greens and cooking biscuits.
Lakeisha said, "Hi, Dee Dee."
Hey, boo, how you doing?
Got your supporters on. That's what's
Oh,
up.
that's
I make
that's
sure y'all
sweet.
share this live so everybody can see her on tonight.
Yeah,
Now,
because
we always come with questions, but if y'all have
awesome.
questions, please, please, I encourage you to ask them while we have her available. I'm sure she don't mind sharing, and if she got to
I
charge
do.
you for something, she'll let you know. Okay.
At her, you get free information tonight. It's free. It's free.
Look,
Tomorrow will
everything's
be a
free
charge.
tonight. So y'all better tap in. Keisha said
That's
she's staying
it.
warm. Yes, we got a little snow, a little ice coming down here.
Yes.
Um, but we're gonna get right into it. 'Cause I know y'all all excited to see what we're gonna talk about tonight. So I'm gonna start off with, why do you think so many business owners lack proper education about taxes? Is it the system, or are we not seeking the right resources?
Well, I wish we could blame the man, but this is one of those things where if you talk to a lot of other communities, they seek out the information themselves. They'll take the classes at the colleges, they'll go to the Small Business Administration or the Chamber of Commerce, or they have friends or family members who have historical generational business knowledge and they pass it down from one to other. Most families know somebody in their family who's an entrepreneur or a business owner. And if you're curious about starting a business, they'll say, hey, come work in my store, come do life insurance with me, come do taxes with me. I'll show you the ropes. And then that way you have the option and the opportunity to learn about a lot of these the business acumen that you just don't generally learn in school or in college.
Right. So it's not that the information is not out there. It's just we have to be a little more proactive in,
Yes.
tapping
Yes.
in and getting that information.
Yes.
Which is why we got her here tonight, y'all.
That's right. That's right. You better come get it while you can. Like I said, it's free tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a charge.
I know that's right. So what out of your experience, I mean, because you have so much experience, I'm so honored. What is the most common misconceptions? You can narrow it down to just a few, or maybe even one or two. Or is
Girl,
it
I
that
got some
much?
good ones. I got a good one. You know what the biggest misconception is about taxes? That if you start a business, you don't have to pay taxes.
Ooh, people think that.
They really do. And really, that is the hardest thing to explain to people. If you're not paying taxes, that means your business is probably running at a loss. And if your business is running at a loss, that means your business is not successful. And if your business is not successful, trying to get loans and business credit and those other things and opportunities are much harder to get, because the first thing most of the underwriters want is your last two tax returns that you filed for your business.
Okay, that's good to know. Y'all, I hope y'all wrote that down.
I hope they did too. I would say the next biggest misconception is that every dollar you write off is a dollar in tax liability that is going to reduce, right? People think if I owe $60,000 in taxes, well, let me write off a $60,000 vehicle and boom, I don't owe any taxes. Tax deduction is not a dollar for dollar deduction. It is a percentage, oftentimes, of the deduction, and some of it may result in reduction of tax liability, and some may not. Some may be, if you don't have a certain AGI, may not reduce your tax liability. It's just going to sit there and be like, well, what do you want us to
do? Right.
You don't meet the threshold. So, yeah.
There's a lot of odds. It's a lot of ins and out, when it comes down to it. Because like I said, I didn't say, but I've been one of those. I'm one of those, what you call it? I don't know. What do you call people that's not certified to do taxes, but they doing taxes? Go on and read me right quick.
I call y'all two things. I call y'all cheap and I call y'all scared. Okay, that's what I call y'all. Love you to death, but I call y'all cheap and I call y'all scared. Because if you knew how much money we could possibly save you and how much headache we could save you, there has never been a time where I've charged more than I've helped a client. I couldn't possibly do that. So, reasonably, if they knew some of the stuff they could possibly get a deduction for, they would hire me. If they knew that some of the stuff they put up there might cause them a problem, even though somebody told them on TikTok or their friend that, oh, you can write that off, girl. That's the biggest, that hurts a lot, because we'll get it a couple years later and they'll be like, you didn't write off this, but you wrote off that. And you did this, but you didn't do that. So, it's like, when you know, when you don't, you don't. And much like you spend hours each year understanding the changes and laws for life insurance and all the things that you do, we do the same thing. We spend hours of continuing education, webinars, training, creating trainings, training our staff, attending IRS trainings, attending specialist trainings, right? So that we can be the experts in that field. And so that when we meet with our clients, we're giving them our best. We're not just here. I always say we're not in the Mickey Mouse Club. We're legit. We're for real. We're here to help you out.
That's right.
Yes,
Well, thank you for
yes.
that. I just learned I'm cheap and scared, y'all. Hey, Shamika. Hey, Cheryl B. Glad to have you here too, love.
Hey,
Um, yeah, so I am not going to be cheap and scared anymore,
good
and I'm
anymore.
going to let you do my taxes. I think I'm ready to hand them over. I'm going to tell you my real reason behind the fear of being cheap and scared. Okay, go
Mhm.
argue with no one.
That
I
part.
wanted to really understand, a basic concept of how to do it before I
Okay.
pass it off, because I've seen and I witnessed so many people have their, even if their friends are professional tax people, like they've been burned and it's happening right
Mm,
under their nose and they don't know. So I figured if I do, because I've been working since I was 14, so I've been filing my own taxes since I was 15. And
hmm
so I was like, if I figure I get a basic understanding, can't nobody just come by and, you know,
And
take my hard
take
earned
advantage.
money.
Right, right. Take
Right. If
advantage
I'm
of you.
losing out, I can't blame nobody right now but me. You feel me? So I can
Right,
only be mad at
right,
myself.
right.
So, but I'm ready. I am. That's my
And
2025. I'm
I
passing it over.
And I do understand that because it always helps to have knowledge because you should. Here's what I also tell business owners they should have a general understanding about how the other aspects of their business operate. You don't have to be a specialist in it, but you should be. It is something I heard when I was very young that Oprah used to say. She signs every check that comes through her office. And the reason why she does that is because if she doesn't understand that, she asks the person who is the expert in that field, give me a lay understanding of what it is that you're doing. Why am I paying this? Why do I owe this? What happened? And to me, if you're using a professional, not Peaches and Pookie and them, okay, a professional registered preparer, okay, like myself and like many partners that I know all across the United States. And I always say to folks, if I'm not a good fit for you, I know thousands of people that literally I could recommend you to. But top 25, definitely. I have 25 people right off on my lips I can recommend for you that I would have do my own taxes if I were not a professional or could not do them myself. But you should have a lay understanding of your business. You should know what if you're building a house, you should know what that contractor does. You should know what the inspector is coming to look at. Someone should be explaining in with your ability to understand and knowledge and information that you can comprehend what it is that they're doing. They don't have to give all the trade secrets. It's not going to make a difference. You can't do
Right.
what they do, right?
Right.
So that was me telling you that, oh my God, if you deduct this, I'm on a yeah, my son's trying to get my dogs out of the room. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
If well, no, because they're loud if they bark. If there's a
Oh,
neighbor,
I can't
they even
hear. I don't hear anything.
well, now they're not barking, but let's put it like this: if somebody drives down my street, all hell's about to break loose because you're gonna think
Oh.
I'm in a dog kennel somewhere. So, but one of the things that I realize is that when we're starting a business, we should have a team with us. Okay, there
Mm.
should be a bookkeeper, there should be a tax professional, there should be some kind of business advisor. You should have a core. There should be an attorney.
Mm.
If you're a nonprofit, you should have somebody who specializes in nonprofit on your team. You should never start a business without having professionals in what they do. Because if you started a
Mm.
real estate business, you're going to find all the experts in real estate to help you. You're a life insurance amazing person and agent, but when you started, did you teach yourself life insurance or did you work with somebody who was an expert to get you up to speed till you were capable and able to run it yourself? It's the same thing with
Right.
other aspects of our business. We don't invest in getting a foundation. So it'll
Mm.
be 1 or 2 years before we file our first business return, before we go get a bank or a bank loan. We don't build a relationship with the bank at the same time we start our business. We don't sit up in a meeting and say,
Mm.
Chase, Hi, I'm Didi Boutte. I'm starting a tax office. Um, I need to know some of the things I can and cannot do as a business owner with this bank account. What do you suggest I have? And we don't go to the retirement people and say, I'm no longer working a W 2 job. I'm a 401. I don't have a 401k anymore. How do I set up my retirement plan so I, as an entrepreneur, can put money away? We don't go to the tax professional and interview people that know our industry.
Mm.
Um, do you specialize in tax returns for people who are in service industries? Do you specialize in trucker taxes? Do you specialize
Mhm.
in restaurant taxes? Do you have a bookkeeper who knows how to do cost of goods sold for certain clients? And we just kind of go, well, I know how to bake a cake. I'm going to bake the best cakes. And I'm going to keep baking those cakes until I make enough money to afford to pay someone.
And that's
That's
the
where we
wrong
mess up.
mindset.
That's the wrong
Wow.
mindset.
That's some good, y'all. I hope y'all are taking notes. If not, y'all gonna have to catch this replay because she is dropping more nuggets than even before the taxes. She giving y'all some
Mm-hmm.
business strategies
Yep.
here, and that is very important. To have your team together before you start. I saw a video.
Yep.
I think it was either on TikTok or Instagram, and the guy was saying how the family worked together. It was a black family.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, they each month they help somebody get whatever they need for the business. Like they got their brother licensed in life insurance, so he can take care of all life insurance policies. They sent somebody else to get their taxes, to become the accountant, to keep
Yes.
all of it in the family. So that's why I
Yes.
tell people your network matters, because
Yes.
if you can be connected to all these people, hey Adair, Erica, if you have the right people, you save time and money. Not that your
Yes.
friends going to see you gonna help you for free, but if you're
Right.
friends with somebody, y'all can go out to lunch. You can get some little information,
Yes.
and
But you can also barter for services. And that's another thing
right,
that professionals don't realize. We can barter for services. I can say, I can do your taxes if you give me a life insurance policy. You can cut my grass and I'll do your taxes. The IRS
in
allows for
exchange,
bartering, so
right,
it's actually a legit,
right,
deduction.
right.
So I tell people all the time, if you offer something that I absolutely need, hell, you'll never pay for another tax return. As long as I'm in business.
Right.
But they don't know that if they're not willing to go out and do some of those interviews when they're building their business.
Exactly. And find out what these other businesses need. Like I
Yeah.
love networking with people, and I feel like people see me coming, they think I'm trying to sell them insurance. I'm like, look, no,
Mhm.
I'm your next best friend. Like
That's right. That's
I
right.
love networking. I love putting other people on the forefront, not only to not with any type of ulterior motive other than
Hmm.
to network. I can't do
Absolutely.
everything for everybody, even with life insurance. I'll pass
Right.
on some to somebody else. I can't write everybody, I mean, I
Right.
can, but I
Right.
can't realistically.
Hmm.
So it's all about just expanding your network, because that's what increases your revenue at the end of the day. Because when people know you refer them, they refer to you without you even having to ask.
There
And I
you
know
go.
because people send people to me all the time. I'll tag people on Facebook all day. Like they're looking for this. Oh,
Hmm.
I know this person. I'm gonna tag them. I don't look for nothing in return. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like a common thing. Hey, if I refer you, maybe you
Hmm.
refer me.
Right. And that's one of the things that we often need to, communicate and connect with each other is some of the basic stuff. We could be saving money, time, energy, and frustration if we just allow connections out there, not be so scared,
Not being
to reach
scared. Look at that
not be
scared
scared,
again.
to reach out to people. Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
never know. I'm always gonna share my goals, because you never know. You never know what the business need.
True.
I never feel like anyone don't need anything. Like you said, I did in the beginning when I started off.
Hmm.
Y'all partner with somebody that's more experienced in this industry. I'm I'm always doing that. Even now, a decade in, I'm always connected to the higher up because there's always levels to this. I will never arrive in this world of insurance because, for one, the laws are constantly changing. Like you're in the same industry, we have to stay
Yep.
certified. It ain't you go to
Yep.
school and you got your degree and that's it. We have to constantly self-develop, constantly train so that we are bringing you the most informed information to help you where it matters most because we handle y'all money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
You don't want someone who said, oh, yeah, I took a class like 10 years ago. Huh?
Mm-mm.
You did what? Do you realize literally sometimes within hours or weeks of us logging into a new tax season, laws can be changing. So you
Right.
never want to go with someone who says, oh, the way they did it 10 years ago is still the same way they do it. Oh, no,
That's
not
right.
these days, at least. So, yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
Shamika said we're all
Help
put
each
here
other.
for a purpose to help. That's right. And if everybody
That's
could
right.
just embrace that fact, I mean, we all could be so much
Mhm.
more successful.
Yep,
So let's
absolutely.
see here.
Absolutely.
Another question. How can business owners start preparing for tax season throughout the year instead of scrambling at the last minute? God know you be getting
Woo!
hit.
Woo! I don't know if we have enough time tonight to go over this part.
Oh
Lord
my
have
God.
mercy. I don't think we have enough time. Okay.
Or you got to
I'm trying to
get them
see
a
if
sneak.
we got to give them I'm trying to see if I have one of them right now by me.
Uh-oh.
Ugh. Let me see. Look, if I have one of them. Well, okay. So there's a little something I send to my clients for the ones who are starting out with me, who are
Okay.
really hard headed. Okay. And I use the word hard headed because they're smart, intelligent people. So they're not ignorant. Okay. But we don't like change. And we don't like it when people tell us we have to do something we've never done before. And so whenever I have a new client coming on board, I have these envelopes in either white or brown so they'll pay attention to them when they come in the mail and they won't just toss it with the junk mail. And what I do is I send them 12 envelopes. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And I put the address on the front and I put a stamp up there and I put their return address up there. Literally, you don't have to do anything else. I need you to take those receipts as soon as you get home from the restaurant, from the store. If you're not going to take a picture of those receipts and send it to me in an email or on a phone, I need you to take your little trusty pen, write what was the purchase, why, and put it in there.
Okay.
Okay. And then at the end of the month, so we got what, 12? Oh, no, we just started. For me, it's the end of the month already. And y'all will understand this if you was a tax preparer. Okay. We are already in February as far as I'm concerned. But we still have what, 14, 16 business days to the rest of this month. And so I tell them at the end of that month, I need you to drop this in the mail. It's going to come straight to me. And it's going to be my responsibility to keep up with those receipts, not yours. But it can't be my responsibility if you don't do the first part.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or if they're the more technological folks, okay, take a picture. Just take a picture and send it to me. Put in the text message. Business meeting with Shamika and Darren and Steven. And I can see the restaurant name. I can see the location. I can even Google it myself. I can see the date. I can see what you ate. As long as there's no alcohol up there, okay? Or we're not gonna write off alcohol, but I can see the receipt and I know enough to go, oh, we can't include that. So, and I keep the receipt. And then when it comes time at the end of the year to do your bookkeeping, if I'm your bookkeeper, it's already done. If I'm not your bookkeeper, then at least I have the receipts and I say, okay, I've got all your stuff here. You can deduct this, you can't deduct this. You need to go add up your totals and get back to me and let me know what it is if you want to not pay for bookkeeping. But there's a lot of different ways that people can do that so that at least someone has the information for them.
Right. I think that's awesome that you do that for them. So, out of all the envelopes that you send out, how many do you get back?
None. No. Well, let me not say that. I get drop-offs. I get FedEx envelopes where they don't send them every month. They send them all in one big package. I get them not by the month. I get people who send me boxes taped up. It's never the way I sent it, but
Right.
the idea is there,
Right.
and then sometimes inside the boxes, they'll have them by month. And then I go, what is this? I'll get kids stuff in there, warranty for the lawnmower. You'll be like, this is not even supposed to be in this box. I'm going to send it back to you. But to me, it's about the attempt. I never complain when I get stuff that I'm not supposed to have. I just send it back and say, hey, there's a couple things in here you might want to hold on to or something like that. Because to me, it's the effort. We need the effort.
Okay.
Especially in our community, because we don't have, like I was saying earlier, we don't have that generational historical business knowledge or business bookkeeping knowledge or tax knowledge. And so a lot of folks are like, I'm afraid to pay taxes. I'm afraid to owe taxes. What happens if I was supposed to pay you and I don't? And so there's so many other things that we have to realize that affects us business-wise that we do have to start. And it's great that we're talking at the beginning of the year because this is perfect timing. This is the time where if you had really bad habits in 2024, don't bring them into 2025. Set up a meeting. If you're someplace that needs to go to a brick and mortar, I tell people, let me find you somebody. If you're okay with a virtual girly like me, I handle clients from all over the United States. There's some states you have to be specialized in, and some states you don't. And if it's a state, much like you, if it's not a state that I specialize in, or if it's a state I know has a lot of, regulations on things that I'm not going to commonly know, then, I'll say, you know what? Let me get you somebody in California because California's got like 12 books worth of stuff they change every year. And I train on some of it, but I'm not an expert and I don't want to be bothered. Okay. So let me go find you a girly over there that can handle this. Same thing with Connecticut and Georgia and some of these, Ohio and some of these other states. They have some, changes. But if you keep updated with the state and the federal, you're fine. If you're not going to do that, then you need to find somebody who's a specialist in that area. But I think it's important that people right now, this should not be a resolution, okay? This needs to be a habit. You should not wake up tomorrow thinking, I got this and I can do this on my own. Not unless you've taken some sort of bookkeeping and you know what is considered an account, what is a source document, what is considered ordinary and necessary for your business type, for your NAICS code. A lot of times people just assume because their friend over there can write off their stripper clothes that they wear to the club, that you can write off your stripper clothes that you wear to the club. But then I say to them, their business is OnlyFans. Your business is a licensed life insurance agent. So
I can't write off my stripper clothes.
You can't write off your stripper clothes, okay? But and people who are in the exotic business or online, business that do work in the sex industry think that they don't have to file taxes, and they do. And the behaviors, if you get paid to have sex in Nevada, you need to pay taxes on that, okay?
We writing the cat off on the taxes.
This is when your Brazilian wax is deductible. Okay?
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay. This is
y'all better listen.
Okay, that's when that BBL is, necessary. Okay, there are industries out here where you can legitimately write off things that I can't do. I'm not going to get away with that, but I will happily go through and help you count those coins. Make sure you get those deductions and make sure it's done so that you can go on about your business, own a home, buy a car, be secure in what you do. There is no judgment in the tax industry when it comes to filing taxes for people. I don't wake up going, oh my God, I cannot do an exotic dancer's taxes. Oh, yes, I can. Girl, what time we setting up?
Oh my
Okay.
God, you got these viewers rolling over here.
Yes, yes, yes.
I love the
Okay.
transparency. I love it. I am enjoying
Yes,
this. Yes. So y'all, if y'all are in any type of industry, she can hook you up. Look, well, I
yes.
ain't gonna say this up here because I ain't gonna say it up here. I might be putting myself. I'm not a
No,
stripper. That's not what I was about to say.
look, let me tell you something. I know people don't believe this, but if you are a drug dealer and you sell illegal drugs, you still have to file taxes on that income.
Oh, I'm sure they know they're supposed to. I better
They
find a way to
supposed to.
clean it.
Look, I don't even get into the middle of all that. I'm just like, how much money did you make? You can, you might be able to write off some sneakers because you got to stand all day. Did you drive to and from the corner? From your house to the corner is a business, is considered a
Girl,
business expense, a business travel. Did you have to go down to Georgia to re-up? Did you go to Texas to re-up? That's
that's the
business.
travel expense.
That's travel expense. Okay. Did
So,
you pay some tolls on the way? You went up 95 to Connecticut. You had to drop off some bags up there. Yes, you can write off
oh
those toll
my
expenses.
God.
It is hilarious, but one hand doesn't care what the other hand is doing. This part of the federal government does not care that's illegal because you need to pay taxes on that money.
Long as
Meanwhile, the
they get
FBI
their
is
money.
probably trying to find you right now. So, sugar daddy, yes,
Sugar daddy
yes,
Sam want his
want his
money. Okay,
money.
he don't care how
Here
you
he
got it,
goes.
long as he got
Here he
his.
goes.
Hey
Absolutely.
Tish, she said she
Look,
died.
and if you are a sugar baby and somebody is, if you're getting money from your sugar daddy and he's giving you enough money to where you need to claim it as a 1099 and your job is sugar baby, you better go ahead and file them taxes, girl. Okay.
Sugar Baby LLC.
Yes, start you a business, boo. Start you a business. That's why I say
Yo, I am weak, but this
even
is
illegal
good because
activities. Yes,
this is exciting because look, y'all, she just letting y'all know no matter what y'all doing for money, she
that's
can file
right.
you some taxes. So y'all better
Yep,
hit up the D Boutte, okay?
yep,
And if y'all, in
yep.
case y'all missed it, I know she don't look like it, but she got 4 decades in the game, okay? So this
That's
ain't no. She just got certified. She's been in
right,
this game and she knows her
right,
stuff. So, oh
right.
my god, let's
Let's
hear some
see.
stories on real life.
Ooh,
Can you share an example of a situation where a lack of knowledge, tax knowledge, led to a serious consequence for a business owner?
it's happening right now. It is happening right now. We all know that we went through an pandemic recently. She's taking pictures of her feet. Girl,
She said so
look,
she can get her pedicures covered.
yes,
Look,
yes. OnlyFans, I'm telling you, if your
OnlyFans,
business,
LLC.
if that's how you make money, believe it or not, I do have clients who, again, they are part of, I just call it the sex trade, sex industry.
That's what it
It's not a
is.
taboo word. It is what it is.
How
OnlyFans
much they gotta
do
make? That's what. Well, how much they gotta make? At least what, 5,000?
600. No,
Oh,
600, $1,000. That's it. That's
oh,
it.
that should be one
IRS.
pick for feet.
That's it. IRS wants to know anything roughly over $600 that you make a year. They want you to file a return. Now, you may not get a refund. You may not qualify for credit. Or
Right.
when you go to file it, it may say, oh, based upon no filing is required for you this year. But
Right.
at least you know, right? You have something that you can stand back on and be like, oh, okay, I didn't have to file this year. But a lot of clients right now, not a lot of clients, but there are some people who were hoodwinked and into something called the ERC. And there was a lot of employee retention credit barking going around where people were told if you paid somebody during COVID to work in your business, you're eligible for credit. Well, that was true, and it is true. And most tax professionals that I know and worked with, or at least all of them, knew how to apply this credit at the time. Well, it was such a big deal that people were like, ooh, I wonder if we can go after people who don't know about this credit, and went and started marketing to people who may not have necessarily been eligible. And so for the business owners who weren't knowledgeable that their tax professional already took care of it, may have stepped out and said, oh, this company over here says I'm eligible for COVID money, and I'm going to apply for this money right now. And had people applying for had people applying for credits that they thought they were eligible for. Come to find out, checking the tax return, one, they either weren't eligible or they had already been claimed. And three, you also had to pay payroll during that time period. So they had to then create, and I use that word, create, okay? They had to create payroll documents. They had to create amendments. They had to create documents to allow these credits to go through. It happened to such a large degree that the IRS shut down the ability for people to even apply for the credit anymore. It was seen as one of the top 12 scams of all times. And we're still getting business owners who are saying, I'm still waiting for my ERC. And we're like, did you work during COVID? No, you're not eligible. Did you? Well, they told me I was. Did you pay somebody during COVID to work in your business? No, we were shut down. You're not eligible. That credit was specifically for business owners who were required to stay open. Your nursing maybe facilities that were privately owned, some businesses that provided certain services, nurses, just off the top of my head, some garages, places that had to help people maintain the flow of whatever was going on at the time, whether it be the government, they supported the government, or they supported municipalities, or they had to provide transportation, or they had to travel and deliver, blood products. There were lots of people that still had to work during COVID. Their business was not exempt from working. Those employers would be eligible. Your restaurant had to stay open because you were the only place where, a certain diet could get this type of food. And you were told you need to stay open because we have a percentage of your population that can't eat this type of food for religious reasons or health reasons, and you need to stay open. So there's a lot of different businesses that stayed open during COVID. Those people paid people or paid themselves. Those people would be eligible, or business owners rather. Yes.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's. I said, these folks better stop playing around when it come down to Uncle Sam, because it's going to catch up with you.
I say the exact same thing. I always say, don't ask me to play with the numbers. I don't want to play with the numbers. Okay, just give me what you got. Let's get this.
Like, work it up and see which one gonna give me the most back. Like, look, I know what I'm supposed to do. You just give me the numbers. Right, give me the numbers. Let me do what I do.
So I always get, do I have to report all my income? Yes. All income that you earn, and that from January 1st to December 31st is required to be reported. You can't pick and choose with W-2 or 1099 or, direct deposit that you got that you want to add and delete. And like I said, play with the numbers. You need to report all income. So foreign and domestic.
Wow.
And,
this is good.
And crypto.
And crypto, y'all.
which is and crypto. Yes,
It ain't safe.
y'all look, them crypto brokers are mad this year because it
I'm
is now
sure.
official. So yes, those 1099 DAs, it'll be the first year they're being issued. So all you folks who haven't been reporting your income for all those crypto transactions that you were supposed to report, yes, expect to see those documents in your mailbox or in your portal if that's how your broker is going to submit them to you.
I'm glad I ain't mess with it.
Because I don't know what I'm
So,
doing. So I'm like,
me neither. That's why I tell people, look, I'm licensed to protect your money, not play with it. Like you said,
mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yep,
stocks and stuff.
yep.
So, how does a business owner's choice of business structure impact their tax obligations? If it, I
Oh
don't know.
wow. No. That is a good question. And because on TikTok, you'll see everybody should become an S corp.
Right.
Save yourself, become an S corp. And then I go to people, do you have the ability to pay for payroll every week or month or biweekly? And people go, no, I don't want to do payroll. You have to be on payroll if you're an S corp. That means everyone's on payroll, right? Um, Also, tax structures or tax classifications like S corps have a reasonable salary requirement, which means that if you go to the Department of Labor and pull up the salary for a office manager in Raleigh, North Carolina, then your salary needs to be reasonable if you're an office manager and you're self-employed. So you don't get to pick that I only want to pay myself $5 a week when the reasonable salary is 5K a week. So
Right.
your business would need to be able to sustain not only that salary, but the payroll that is going to pay you that salary and the withholding of the tax obligations for the S corp and personal. Because
Okay.
what folks forget is when you're self-employed, you pay your withholding. And so, S corps pay half of that. It comes out of the business, and the other half comes out of the employees own pay. So yeah.
Right. I've been told that too early, like a few years ago. You shouldn't be because I'm an LLC. Like you should be an S
Mm-hmm.
corp. So I'm like, well, first of all, I know I'm not set up yet to be that.
Okay. Right.
To get those to get those deductibles and credits or whatever that's
Mm-hmm.
beneficial as a C corp or S corp. I wasn't there yet because I knew there were
Right.
stipulations. So people listen to the big picture and they
Yep.
don't understand the requirements. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay right here in my
Yep.
lane because this is where I belong until further notice.
Yeah, they don't listen to the little details. Everybody
Yeah.
goes high level when they see stuff, but they never reach out to their tax professional, to their CPA, to their accountant, to their bookkeeper, and ask, I'm curious about this. Why haven't you recommended this to me? And I'm always saying, because you're not ready. You're not balancing your checkbook right now. You're not ready for S Corp. Or if you are, who's going to manage this part of the process? Are you
Right.
hiring me? Or are you hiring somebody else to do it? Because it's not something that you can just wait and do. Certain tax classifications like S Corp have to be maintained. One, they have to be approved by the IRS. Secondly, it has to be maintained. And if you lose the classification, that tax classification from the IRS, they can make you wait up to 5 years to apply for it again.
Wow.
So, yeah, so, it's not something you want to take lightly.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
that's
business
that. Yeah.
structures, yeah, but business structures like LLCs or sole proprietors or partnerships, even corporations, are sometimes easier to operate than the big dog, which I call like
Right.
an S corp, because it has a lot of requirements.
Right. I ain't ready for it yet. I don't even. I don't think, but I guess I'm gonna let you tell me that.
Honey, I tell people all the time, I'm not even ready for it. We're running a partnership over here. I don't even want to be bothered like that. Okay. I don't want somebody
I know
telling
that's
me I
right.
have to take a salary or I got to take a distribution or I got to do this and I got to do that. I'm like, yeah, I want to mind my own business and I don't want you in mine either. So But
Keep
it
it
really depends
simple.
on, it just really depends on the business owner.
Hi, Alexis says good evening. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, Alexis. Hey,
So,
girl.
you already went over some of it. You went over some of the ones that we probably would have never thought about, like
That's
way,
good.
way never thought about it,
That's
which is
good.
great.
Oh,
So, for the common, regular workers, not in the sex trade industry,
right. Not
what
the
is,
sex workers. You mean normal people?
yeah, just
Oh
normal
my
people
God.
that's, we're making
You
modest
know.
money
Yes, yes, yes.
ethically. But
Right.
what are some of the most common tax deductions that you know we that we may even talk about it in conversation, with other people,
Mhm.
but when it comes to ourselves, we may just really overlook it. It's like, wow, why didn't I think of that?
Right. I think a lot of times the ones that people miss out on the most that I spend the most time talking about is mileage.
Oh,
It's something I just started at the beginning of the year. I'm really trying to hammer it into our clients. Guys, this is a credit that is so necessary. You could help yourself. Some of people could help themselves a lot by just keeping track of their mileage from going from their home to the business destination, right? And for somebody like me who 90% of the time works from home, I'm not going to get a lot from mileage, right? My
yeah,
clients are virtual. I'm not traveling anymore to people's houses to do taxes. I'm doing everything cloud based, virtual, online, meetings, even Zooms, right? But someone like yourself who needs possibly to write a policy, every every trip you make to a potential client or client's house could be a substantial amount of credit you get going
right,
there and
right.
returning, right? Um, for 2025, it's 70 cents.
Yeah, I heard it just went
Yeah,
up because it was what 60 or
60,
59, something
60,
like
67. It went from,
that. Okay.
during COVID, we had a big jump. And then they brought it back a little bit, and then they brought it back up a little bit because the elephants and the donkeys were arguing, so it kind of went back, and then it kind of came back up, and now it's back up again. And I'm sure which ones the elephants are probably going to try to knock it back
Take
down
it back
again,
down.
take it back down again. But that's a substantial credit. And when I try to be like, oh my God, you drive every day, you go pick up these, medications for these clients, and that's your business delivery, right? Why don't you track your miles? Okay.
Mm,
Because you literally are losing credits. And so, someone like yourself, I would say, make sure you track your mileage. If you're not going to use an app like a Mile IQ or something else that you have found that you like to work with, then get an old fogey stogie piece of paper,
and write your
write
mileage
down,
down.
write your miles down, write down the odometer reading. If you are like, you can't remember how to hit that trip meter and you don't know how to do it, write down the odometer reading, right? Put it in a spreadsheet. If you don't know how to do it, ask somebody. We can YouTube everything else, but we never YouTube the stuff to help us. Okay. You
Right.
know, and I sit here and shake my head and I'm going, but you can figure out how to put on eyelashes, but you couldn't figure out to keep track of your miles and that's going to help you, right? But those eyelashes are not going to, you can't even write those off. Okay. So why
Well,
would
if
you worry about that over this?
if you got OnlyFans where you batting your eyes,
Now that's a different, look. See, I was trying to stay out of the sex
and you brought
industry,
it
but
back
yeah,
up.
that first.
Oh man.
So yeah, yes.
Okay. Hurdler is a good app for tracking mileage. Also, Shamika says.
Now, see, Shamika, I would have thought that would have been a dating app or one of those apps. I've not heard of that one, so I would have never opened that app. I would have been like, no, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it does. People could have been asking me all year, can I use Hurdle? And I'm like, no, I've never heard of that.
You told-
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Don't ask me nothing,
Oh my
So yeah,
God. Yeah, so that's good. I'm like you though. I work from home. I'm working from home 90% of the time. I never
right.
was that field agent. I said, why would I drive around trying to get people to get insurance when I can just sit at home and they can call me? It didn't make sense to
Girl,
me. But yes,
all
they
day
go like they
long.
dropping. Hey Martha, she said Mal
Okay, now
IQ.
IQ. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one that I'm recommending now because QuickBooks Self-Employed went away. And what I liked about that is it had a mileage app inside of it. Plus, you could keep track of your receipts. Plus, you could connect your bank account. Plus, you could keep track of all your expenses. But
right.
somewhere along the way, I guess Intuit decided to, get rid of that app. So MyIQ seems to be the new favorite right now.
Okay. Yep, and that's what Martha just shared with it as well. I know
Yep.
I was gonna ask you a question. Mm. Okay, so you're a bookkeeper, you do everything, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
okay, so
Yes.
you have packages. So is I know you said you send out envelopes and stuff to your clients so they can keep up with the stuff. Do you
Hmm.
prefer them use something like QuickBooks? Because that's what I'm about to use. And I want to know if
Absolutely.
it's gonna help.
Um,
Okay.
there are other software programs out there for bookkeeping. There's Sage, there's Zero, there's Zoho. I mean, Netscape. I mean, there's so many different platforms. One of the reasons I really prefer QuickBooks is Intuit created that product so many years ago. It has been sustained through all these different generations and iterations. It is still one of the most widely used platforms. There is, the security, the data security component is second to none. You can share with your accountant, your bookkeeper, your tax preparer the information without giving them your login. So
Mm,
they can have their own profile. So you don't have to worry about compromising your username and password with anyone. And she says she likes Wave accounting for tracking because you was being cheap
there
and it
we
was
go.
free.
We be being cheap.
Okay,
We gotta stop being cheap.
look here, and Mika and I understand that. But here's what I tell folks: remember what you're connecting to some of these free platforms, okay?
Mm,
And it's not that I haven't used Wave personally, so I don't know what their level of authentication is. I am a QuickBooks girly. I stick with QuickBooks um, because I know the requirements as a professional that I'm supposed to keep when I'm dealing with your information. I don't
right.
have time to find out that there was a breach or a lapse or
Mm,
um, they don't have, they have 2FA, not MFA, and all this other stuff. As a preparer and a bookkeeper, I have a required fiduciary responsibility to maintain a certain level of security with anything that I touch. Okay, that handles
right.
client P2 data, and I love that there's other stuff out there. I don't love it when it's free, and oftentimes free means compromise. And
Mm,
they're either compromising your information, your security, or possibly both. Because how are you paying for that extremely expensive authentication software and security software and the support team? Where's that money coming from? Because it's not coming from me if it's free.
mm,
And what we know about business is free stuff often goes away. It's here today, gone tomorrow because they couldn't sustain the platform. If we remember, Facebook was free in the beginning, right? And guess what they had to do? They had to monetize because you can't maintain growth without
making some
um,
money.
commerce, right? So they're either selling the list of the names of people, the email addresses, they're selling something. And I don't want to find out it's my client's bank account numbers. Okay. I don't want to find out it's
Mm,
my client's email addresses. I don't want my email address sold.
right.
I have one I use for public purposes and I have one I use for private purposes. If I'm linking my private email address, then now I got to be concerned about where is that going. And now I got spam email and all these other problems. So I often stay away from free. If you're charging me, I may give it a try. But if it's free, I'm not even looking. I won't even give it a second look. I tell people don't even bother me to go check it out because the model doesn't make sense. If you're going to show me the model where you pay for it, or somebody's paying for it, or a billionaire gifted it for the next 20 years, then maybe. But no.
Right. So I need to stop offering free consultations. I was like,
Absolutely, absolutely. There's nothing else like that's free. I will say that your consultation fee will go towards your services. I absolutely. But if you do not book any services, well, that was for my time and information because I'm going to give you information anyway. So it was worth
right, right. That's what's up. I'm gonna ask you one more question. Then I have
it.
a question
Yes.
that I ask all of my guests. And this is one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. So what
Mm.
should business owners know about communicating with the IRS if they're audited or fall behind on payments?
Yes. This is one of the things now this, if nothing else needs to be a snippet, you need to share this every place you can share it. Respond. Please open the letter, respond, get support, get some help, call somebody. The worst thing you can do is leave the envelope sealed and
Mm,
throw it away somewhere and think it's going to go away. You're actually escalating it because the number of times they communicate with you lessens the opportunities that they can help you fix the problem, resolve the problem, abate the problem, reduce the penalties. I mean, I've worked with these amazing resolution team members who are constantly, and I'm in awe at reducing penalties, removing penalties. Okay, for people that just as soon as they got the letter, went to them and said, "Hey, I don't know what to do with this," and they go, "Oh, don't do anything. Give me your power of attorney. Let me call these people. Let me negotiate on your behalf. Let me get this done. This is what I'm an expert at doing." Okay.
right.
The ignoring it makes it worse. If you miss a payment, you need to communicate with them. If you're unable to sustain a payment, that installment that you have with them, you need to communicate with them. The IRS is nice, and I know people don't believe this. I have never, even on a personal situation, because people think that tax preparers don't owe tax money. Hell, we owe more money than probably anybody else out there. Okay, because we they don't let us get away with anything. All right, we can't say, "Oh, these shoes were a tax deduction." They're like, "Boo, you work from home. How do shoes a tax deduction?" Okay, so we don't get away with anything. So we pay the most out of taxes out of anybody, right? And
Right.
so, if I say, I don't want to pay all this 10 grand bill all at once, can I do installments? And they're like, "How many installments? What can I do a year?" Yes, I'll do a year. Well, what if I need longer than a year? Well, if you need longer than a year, the interest is going to be higher. What's the best you can do today? I mean, they are so accommodating and so nice. And if you call them back, and I owe taxes, okay? You do not want to mess with a tax professional who does not owe any tax money. That means that more than likely their business is running at a loss. They're low key probably a criminal. And three, they're friends with DJT, number 47, number 45. Okay?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So when not me, 'cause I already know who's gonna do mine. But if y'all out here shopping
Mhm.
for a tax professional, y'all need to ask
Yes.
them, or you need to
You,
confirm that they owe tax.
yes. Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
This
My
is good
business,
to me.
we make a lot of money. And when you make a lot of money, you pay a lot of
You're gonna
taxes.
pay taxes,
And
right? Because
yes,
it's not too much that y'all can write off.
there you
You
go.
know, yeah,
Right. I might get a little software, get a little business office deduction. I might have a few thousand from, something I donated to. But let's keep it real. If you are a successful business person and you're not in a brick and mortar and you don't have 12 offices and you don't have a large overhead, which someone like myself does not, we make good money, but we also pay good taxes. So I
Right.
don't have a problem when people say, "Do you ever owe taxes?" I'm like, I owe taxes every year, but you know, I'm trying to do better with paying ahead of time. And that's how
Right.
you can reduce a lot of the penalties is making your payments on a quarterly basis so that you don't have a big bill at the end of the year.
Right. Look, y'all, that was another nugget. It was, man, this you dropped a lot of nuggets tonight. Is there anything that I did not touch on that you feel like you need to add on before you start charging tomorrow?
Um, don't be scared and don't be cheap.
Don't be scared. Don't be cheap. Y'all, I learned that
That's
I was
it.
scared and cheap when it come down to taxes, and I'm not going to be that this year. I'm not.
Don't be scared, don't be cheap. That's it.
So, one of the questions that I ask every guest, because all of my guests have such great things going on and they're doing great things for the community. And I'm always
Mhm,
curious, and especially with you being already in 40 years in the game,
mhm,
but you're still
mhm.
young, so you still got time. But
I do.
what's your end game?
Ultimately, I would like to be able to full time have a nonprofit that would go out and help educate business owners on how to properly pay their taxes, pay their sales tax, pay their income tax, pay their revenue taxes. If you're a trucking company, let's show you how to get this set up so you pay your IFTA taxes on time. There are so many different business owners that are walking around, like I said, a little scared because they know they have to do something, but they don't know who to go to or who to trust. It
Right.
would be nice, especially in our community, if I had the resources where I could spend all day just educating people on, the taxes and how it impacts their business.
Wow, that's awesome. That has got to be one of the best. I'm tempted to say the best, but it definitely has to be one of the best answers that I got. It's a lot of business
Mhm.
owners. I ask them what's their end game, and it's like they haven't thought about it. And there's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
it. It's just I'm
Right,
surprised to know that a lot of people out here just doing business with no end game in mind.
right, right.
So that's a great end game, and I'm hey, we right here in the same state, so I'm all in
That's
support of
right.
that. But
Absolutely,
look, put it out
absolutely,
there in the atmosphere. You never know who's listening, who can help you with those resources, man. Um,
absolutely.
Didi, I enjoyed you tonight. I really did. And so now
Enjoyed
you need to
being
tell the
here.
people how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. You can find me on social media. I wish they were all the same, but you know how we do sometimes, right?
So
Um,
which ones are the same? I'm gonna try to type it up here as you talk, as you
okay,
speak.
so the spelling of my name, Didi Boutte, as you see it, I'm there on TikTok, just like it's spelled.
Okay.
Um, and on Facebook, you can find me now under DEE, and my last name, Boutte.
And that's on Facebook.
Yep. And on
Okay.
Insta, I am at okay. I do taxes.
Okay. I
Do
like that.
taxes. Yeah.
Do Texas. And then you said TikTok is
Yep. Just like it's
Didi
spelled.
Boutte, just like on the
Yep.
thing. All
Just
right,
like
so I'm
it's
about to
spelled. Yep.
roll this across the bottom of the screen, y'all. And you have a website, or if they can, so
Yes.
if they get up here and see you, what they just need to DM you, or your all your
They
stuff
can.
is on those pages.
All my stuff is on all those pages, but the ltdgroup.com is my website. But again, if you're on Facebook, you'll see my website, my phone number, my email, my secure client portal is linked there, my scheduler is linked there. People can schedule appointments with me. My calendar is always open. I usually open my calendar at least 6 months out. So even if you don't aren't ready to schedule today, you can go and find you an appointment in the future. And how you can support me, Shamika, share this video with folks that are in business. Honestly, we have to start talking about the mistakes we're making in business, and taxes happen to be one of the biggest ones. And so that people, because what people do is once they realize that they're behind on taxes, they can't handle the debt that they've gotten them into, they kind of close up their business. They don't want to do it anymore. And I don't
Right.
want that to
Right.
happen, especially in our community. We want to recreate Black Wall Street. Well, we gotta
Mm.
go back and recreate Black Tax Street first, so that
Black Secretary. I
we
know
can
that's
get on.
right.
Yes, okay. We got to get on par so that we can walk around and hold our heads up high and be in Turks and Caicos and not be like, oh, are you here on vacation or are you avoiding IRS? So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I'm here and I've already paid my taxes. Thank you.
Right, that part, that part. Okay,
Yes.
that part.
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate you, love. I appreciate all y'all that was watching and viewing. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Get the word
yes.
out. She's doing a great thing for the community. Make sure y'all
Ooh,
share, like, and comment on this video. That costs you nothing. And she just
absolutely.
dropped some priceless information on you guys tonight. And if you missed it, you have access to this for free on YouTube, but you're gonna have to pay her to get some more exclusives. So
That's right.
thank you so much, and you are welcome back anytime. And
All
any way
right.
we can support you, just let me know. I'm always
It was
lurking anyway on social media.
That's okay. That's okay. You can lurk all day long. It was such a pleasure. I really enjoyed myself, and you are such a wealth of knowledge and absolutely
Oh,
beautiful. I love what
oh,
you're doing. Keep doing it, and I'm just so honored that you even considered me. So thank you.
oh, well, thank you. I'm honored that you took me up on my invitation. But y'all, that's it for tonight. Another episode of the Round Table, and I will see y'all next Friday, same time, same place, with a different face. All right,
All
y'all be
right.
easy and have a good night.